The ocean stretched, blue met blue, miles from land. No boat, no land, no hope, just a dog, a German shepherd, paddling. His life depended on it. A fisherman saw him, miles offshore. Leo Holt skippered his boat. The wanderer, he squinted. Something bobbed, dark against the sun-slicked water. Driftwood, he thought, common enough, but it moved oddly. Against the current, Leo grabbed his binoculars, focused, his breath caught. A dog, exhausted, soaked, barely afloat, alone, in the vast empty sea. How, Leo whispered. The word vanished in the wind. His boat, the wanderer, was old, but steady. Leo had been out since dawn, chasing rumors of marlin. 6 hours, nothing but sun and silence. Until now, his heart hammered. This was wrong, deeply wrong. He pushed the throttle. The boat surged forward, closer. The dog was failing. Legs churned slowly. Head dipped under, came up sputtering. Minutes, maybe less. Leo cut the engine. "Say hey boy," he yelled. "I'm here." The dog didn't react. Eyes glazed, terror, exhaustion. Leo shed his jacket, kicked off his boots. He threw a rope ladder over the side. Then he dived. The water was shocking. Salt burned his eyes. He swam, hard strokes, eyes on the dog. The shepherd's struggles weakened, fainter. Leo reached him. The dog's body went limp, a dead weight. Leo hooked an arm under the dog's chest, kicked, fought the waves, dragged them both back to the wanderer. He shoved the dog upwards, towards the ladder. Miraculously, the dog's paws scrabbled, found purchase, heaved himself onto the deck, collapsed, a wet, shivering heap. Leo followed, panting, shaking. He knelt, touched the dog gently, brushed water from its muzzle. The dog's chest rose, fell, shallow, but steady. "You're alive," Leo breathed. "You crazy, brave thing. You're alive." He found an old tarp, wrapped the dog, fetched fresh water. The dog didn't move. Leo sat. The ocean surrounded them, endless. "What happened to you?" he asked the still form. The dog's ember eyes opened, a flicker. Not pain, not fear, something else. A stubborn will. Unbroken, Leo turned the boat, headed for Port Blossom. 2 hours away, the sun climbed, the dog shivered. Leo checked, still breathing, still alive. Questions churned. No collar, no tags, no life vest, just raw skin under his front legs, chafed from swimming. Hours, maybe days. Leo had seen cruelty, dogs abandoned, but this far out, 200 kilometers. Unthinkable. He touched the dog's back, got a name, Buddy. No response. The dog watched him, wary, but alert. Port Blossom appeared, a smudge on the horizon, growing. Leo bypassed the harbor master. He carried the dog, limp, heavy, to his old truck, drove, not to animal control. Something stopped him. He went to Dr. Evans, a small clinic, edge of town. The receptionist looked up. "Sir, appointments?" He was in the ocean. Leo cut in. Miles out, drowning. Silence. Dr. Evans appeared. Young, kind eyes, now wide. "You found him." "Where?" "Swimming," Leo said. "Alone?" The dog was whisked away. Leo waited, dripping seawater. Anxiety coiling in his gut. Why this dog? Why this fierce protectiveness? The dog hadn't quit, not in that endless water. Dr. Evans returned. 20 minutes, felt like years. "He's dehydrated, severe, exhausted beyond belief, scraped raw." She paused, a small, amazed smile. "But his heart is strong. He's a fighter." Leo sagged. Relief washed over him. "No microchip," Dr. Evans added, "but we found this." She handed him a small piece of metal, rusted, bent, tangled in the fur near his neck, part of a dog tag. Leo turned it over. Most writing was gone. One letter remained, clear, bold. Har. That night Leo took Yar home. His place was small, a cabin, near the water, peeling paint, a rickety dock. He made a bed of old blankets, set down water. Ar still wouldn't eat, but his eyes followed Leo, intense, calculating. Before sleep, Leo sat near him. "You survived hell, boy," he whispered. "I don't know how, but I'm not giving up on you." Ar blinked, slowly. Not trust, not yet, but something shifted. Morning, claws tapped on wood. Softly, Leo opened his eyes. Ar was standing, shaky, but standing, exploring the small cabin, stiff, favoring a leg, but moving. "Well, look at you," Leo said, sitting up. Ar paused, looked at him. One blink. Leo offered fresh water, cooked chicken, R sniffed, then ate, slow, deliberate. It was a start. Leo watched. "You're more than smart," he murmured. "You're trained." R's movements were precise, calm, no sudden flinches, no begging, no barking. He observed, like a soldier. Leo knew that look. He'd been a Navy diver. Years ago, he'd seen working dogs, focused, disciplined. After breakfast, Leo stood on his dock. The sea breeze felt good, cool, soft steps. R stood beside him, gazing at the water that nearly claimed him. "You've seen things, haven't you?" Leo said quietly. R didn't move. Later, Leo called an old friend. Marcus, Colonel, retired canine police unit. Now a private trainer. "Mark, I need you to see a dog," Leo said. Something's different about him. Marcus arrived that afternoon. Tall, sharp eyes, quiet. He entered, crouched, didn't speak. R stood still, ears up slightly. Not aggressive. Marcus watched. Then calmly, "Sit." R didn't move. Down. No response. Marcus did something then, subtle, 2 fingers extended. Palm down, a slight downward arc. R instantly dropped. Belly to the floor, tail tucked, eyes on Marcus. Leo stared. "What was that?" "Silent command," Marcus said. "Tactical, specialized units." He stood, looked at Leo. "You didn't just find a stray, Leo. You found a professional." Leo looked at R, lying still, watching. Why was a trained dog like that so far offshore? Marcus had no answer. Only more questions. Who trained him, and why was he abandoned? Or worse, sleep eluded Leo. He watched R, asleep at the foot of his bed, the broken tag. R on the nightstand. No answers, just a deepening mystery. And a dog that had escaped something terrible. Leo reached down, ran a hand over R's head. R leaned into the touch, a tiny movement. His tail thumped. Once, twice, not full trust, but the start. The very beginning. 2 days passed. R, now tentatively called Ranger by Leo, grew stronger. He followed Leo, rested by his feet, nudged his hand for more chicken. Subtle, almost shy, but sounds. Certain sounds. Not thunder, not cars backfiring. Helicopters. Even distant, a faint whirring. Ranger would freeze, ears flat, body low, eyes hard, sharp, trained, and traumatized. Leo picked up the tag, the faded yar. There had to be more, a story. Dogs didn't just materialize in the ocean. He opened his old laptop. Dusty, unused for years. He accessed a secure database, one from his Navy days. Risky, but the dog deserved answers. Keywords: German Shepherd, military canine, East Coast, no chip, tactical signals. A file appeared, restricted, red flagged, Project Cerberus asset recovery. Leo had never heard of it. He tried to open it. Access denied. He used old override codes. A gamble. Partial access granted. Black screen, white text, asset, R7. Breed, German Shepherd. Sex, male. Assignment, offshore special operations. Handler classified. Status, decommissioned. Presumed lost at sea. Date of deactivation, 3 days before Leo found him. Leo leaned back, cold dread. They knew Ranger was out there. Marked him lost, not missing. Not search and rescue, lost. The file was sparse, no details of his mission. But one thing was clear. Ranger was part of something covert, and someone wanted him gone. Forgotten movement. Ranger stood in the doorway, eyes on the laptop screen, ears pricked. "Do you know this, don't you?" Leo whispered. Ranger remained still. Then a sound. Tires on gravel. Outside. Leo moved to the window, pulled the curtain. For example, a black SUV. No plates, parked at his drive. 2 men, plain clothes, stepped out. One carried a small, dark device. The other wore gloves. Ranger growled. Low, a rumble in his chest. Leo shut the laptop, backed away. Someone monitored the database. Or his search. They were here. "Come on, Ranger," Leo whispered. Keys in hand, they slipped out the back, into the woods. Leo's old fishing truck was hidden down a disused logging trail. Ranger moved beside him, silent, alert, a shadow. Inside the truck, Leo looked at the dog. "Whatever they wanted you for," he said grimly, "they are not finished." Ranger didn't blink. He was ready. Leo drove. One eye on the road, one on the mirror. The SUV didn't follow. Not yet, but they were out there, hunting. Ranger sat in the passenger seat, tense, ears swiveling. Not panic, calculation. A soldier assessing threats. They left asphalt behind, followed a rutted dirt track. It led to an abandoned boatyard. Leo knew it from his youth, forgotten docks. A single rusty storage shed, perfect for now. He pulled the truck into deep shadow, cut the engine. "We stay here tonight," Leo said. Ranger's breathing slowed, conserving energy. Waiting. Inside the shed, old nets and tarps, the smell of salt, rust, and decay. Ranger sniffed every corner, then settled by the door, guarding. Leo sat beside him. The question burned. "What were they doing to you, boy?" No answer expected. He kept talking, softly. "I've seen service dogs, trackers, bomb dogs. Even rescued divers like me had canine partners. But you're different. You weren't just trained to obey. You were trained to think." Ranger looked up, his eyes deep, aware. He did something unexpected. He gently placed a paw on Leo's boot, a small touch, loaded with meaning. Leo swallowed. "Hard. Do you trust me now?" A soft exhale from Ranger. Almost a sigh. Close enough. Sunrise. Gray light filtered through cracks in the shed. Leo took Ranger to a crumbling dock. He had a plan, dangerous, maybe stupid. "I'm going to find out who they are," he said, packing a dry bag. "They'll be looking for you. Hard. You need to disappear." He hesitated. "Unless you want out. You've earned it." Ranger could vanish into the wilderness. "Be free." The dog tilted his head, then stepped forward, placed his body between Leo and the waters, for example, blocking him. A look, direct, unwavering. No words needed. Leo managed a faint smile. "All right, partner." They boarded a small, battered motorboat, hidden under a tarp. Leo's old escape craft, fast, low profile, barely legal. As the boat pulled away, Leo scanned the shoreline. There, half hidden by trees, the black SUV. He cursed. They'd tracked the truck. Ranger stood at the bow, wind in his fur, eyes locked on the shore. The SUV passenger door opened. A figure emerged. Black clothes, face obscured by a cap, sunglasses. He raised a phone, spoke into it. Suddenly Ranger barked. Sharp. Not fear, recognition. Leo looked at him, startled. "You know him," Ranger barked again. Louder. Turned a tight circle on deck. Agitated. "Is that your handler?" No answer. Just focused, restless movement. Leo wrenched the wheel. The boat veered sharply. Out to open sea. "We're not ready for that," he muttered. "Not yet." Ranger sat, but his gaze never left the diminishing figure on the shore. Friend or foe, one thing was certain. Ranger remembered. And the past was catching up. The sea was choppy. The small boat slammed against waves. Leo gripped the wheel, engine straining. Ranger stood firm beside him. Paws braced, staring ahead. An hour passed. Silence, heavy with unspoken things. Ranger was more than a lost dog. He was a target. Leo steered into a hidden cove. Jagged cliffs, accessible only by water, or a treacherous cliff path. He cut the engine. Silence descended, thick. "Time for some answers," Leo said. He pulled the printed file from the dry bag. Asset R7. Terminated due to compromise. Terminated. They meant to kill him. Yet Ranger lived, by sheer will. Leo pulled out the rusted tag fragment. "The Yar Ranger," Leo whispered. "Is that your name, or what you became?" The dog looked at him, intelligent, aware. Suddenly Ranger tensed, stood, walked to the bow, ears pricked, alert. Leo followed his gaze. Far off, a black speck growing, a helicopter. Fast, silent approach. "How?" Leo breathed. "How do they keep finding us?" Ranger whined, low, then leaped from the boat. Onto the rocks, he scrambled up a narrow fissure in the cliff. A hidden path. Leo followed, heart pounding. At the top, they crouched behind a large boulder. The helicopter hovered, then descended, several hundred yards away. Doors slid open. 4 figures, black tactical gear, helmets, visors, no insignia. A 5th figure emerged. No mask, no helmet, a weathered face, calm authoritative stance. Ranger froze. Leo looked down. "You know him, don't you?" Ranger's tail lowered, eyes locked on the man. "I think that's your handler," Leo murmured. The man scanned the area, pulled a small device from his pocket, pressed a buck. A high-pitched whine, almost inaudible to Leo. Ranger flinched, stumbled. whimpered, pawed at his ears. "Faye, what is it?" Leo grabbed Ranger's fur, tried to steady him. The dog shook his head, confused, in pain. Leo looked back at the man. "The device. They're trying to override your training," Leo realized. "Control you." The handler raised a hand, pointed directly at their hiding spot. No words, a silent command. Two armed figures started up the path. "We have to go," Leo urged, tugging Ranger. But Ranger didn't move. He looked at Leo, torn, old programming, old loyalties, battling within him. "I know it hurts," Leo said, voice tight. "But you choose now, Ranger. Not them. You choose who you are." The sound intensified. Ranger trembled violently, whimpered again. Then he barked, one sharp, defiant bark. It echoed off the cliffs. He turned, lunged, not down the path, towards the helicopter. "Ranger, wait," Leo yelled, but he understood. Ranger wasn't surrendering. He was confronting, ending it. Leo followed. Adrenaline burned through him. Ranger reached the clearing. The two armed men turned. He didn't hesitate, launched himself at one man's legs. The man went down, hard. The second reached for a weapon. Leo, appearing from the side, tackled him. Low and hard, the weapon skittered away, two down. The handler stepped forward, voice calm. "Colonel, stand down, R7. Ranger froze, the voice, familiar, resonant. "Pulled at old conditioning, return. Mission protocol." Leo stepped between them. "It's over." The handler's eyes, like chips of ice, assessed Leo. "You think you can protect him? He's not a dog. He's an asset. A tool with flaws." "He's not a tool," Leo's voice rose. "He's a survivor." And he made his choice. Ranger stepped beside Leo, faced his former handler, and growled. Not rage, not fear, closure. The helicopter's engine whined louder. One of the downed men shouted. The group began to retreat, towards the aircraft. The handler paused, eyes locked with Leo. "You're making a mistake." Leo nodded. "Maybe. But it's our mistake." The helicopter lifted. Wind buffeted them. Then it was gone. Silence returned. Only the wind and sea. Leo looked at Ranger. The dog was shaking. Not from pain. From release. He was free. They returned to the small boat. As the sun bled into the ocean, Leo wrapped a blanket around Ranger. "You're not R7 anymore," Leo said softly. "You're Ranger, and this time you get to keep your name." Ranger rested his head on Leo's lap. For the first time, he closed his eyes. Not from exhaustion. From peace. He was safe. A week later, the ocean was calm, the Florida sun warm. Leo's cabin, no longer just a shelter. It was a home. Ranger lay on the porch, head on his paws, eyes half closed. The salt breeze carried jasmine scent. His body filled out, stronger, relaxed. The raw patches on his legs healed. Scars remained. The wariness in his eyes softened, replaced by a quiet watchfulness. Leo came out, a bowl of grilled fish and rice. "Hungry, boy, fresh catch." Ranger's ears twitched. He stood, stretched, a long lazy movement, trotted over. No hesitation. He ate calmly, tail sweeping gently. When finished, he sat by Leo. They watched the waves. Leo breathed deep. No sign of the black SUV, no helicopters. Perhaps they'd given up. Perhaps Ranger was truly off their radar. The silence felt like peace, not threat. "Looks like they're gone," Leo said. "Guess they know you're home now." Ranger blinked, leaned his weight against Leo's leg. A comfortable pressure. Later, they went to town. The small pet store on Main Street. Sarah, the owner, smiled. "This must be the famous Ranger," she said, crouching. Ranger sniffed her offered hand, gave a polite tail wag. Sarah held up a new collar, strong leather, embossed in simple, gold letters, Ranger. Leo took it, knelt, fastened it gently. "It's there," he said, his voice thick. "Your real name. Just you." Next, the beach. Not the open, terrifying sea. A quiet stretch of sand. Shallow waves, children laughing. Ranger stepped onto the sand, cautious. The ocean sounds. No longer a trigger for fear. Leo tossed a worn tennis ball, gently. Ranger hesitated. Then, a burst of movement. He chased it. Not fast. A little clumsy, but joyful. Free, he brought it back, tongue lolling. Leo laughed, a real laugh, full, unburdened. "You're a beach dog now, Ranger." Sunset painted the sky. Gold, rose, violet. They returned to the cabin. It glowed. welcoming. Ranger curled at Leo's feet on the porch. Leo rested a hand on the dog's warm back. They sat in comfortable silence. Words weren't needed. Some rescues are unplanned. Some heroes are quiet. Some broken things can heal. Sometimes all it takes is one person, one chance to be found and to find a home. Ranger sighed, a soft, contented sound. He was home.